welcome
to New Entry Wrestling Podcast, baby. Welcome back to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Sexy Ian, with my co-host, Eva. What it do, baby? And please do not call me Poppy on this episode.
I'm sorry, man. It's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man.
I heard your girl yelling at you on the phone after that episode.
Man. I know.
Well, after it aired.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I know. Oh man, I don't know. Sorry.
yeah. That was pretty. I was like, come on, man. Your girl. Yeah, she was pretty mad about that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh man. I think I just caught in the moment. It's Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. That's what we're talking about today. Actually, we're doing part 2 of Eddie Guerrero's tribute, and we're gonna go right into our top 5 matches of Eddie Guerrero and dream matches he would have had if he was still alive today.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with that list. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with our, top favorite matches. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you my number 5, which is John Cena in the parking lot street fight. I believe that's what it was called. That was it was a great fight, great storytelling. I don't remember too much about it because it was so long, but it's not hard to forget what's your top favorite matches, but I just remember how Chavo Guerrero made a return, if I'm not mistaken, hitting Cena with I don't remember what he hit him with. But I think it was
his own chain? That's when John Cena had the chain.
Yeah, I don't know. But I remember Eddie Guerrero did a frog splash. Oh, yeah. And on top of the vehicle, yeah. But I also remember John Cena taking Eddie Guerrero's tires. Not that night, but it was like the build-up for that match. And he gave him the FU on the tire. Oh, man. I remember that. But you want to go back and forth, or you want me to give them my whole list first?
Use the whole list.
All right, sounds good. So that was my number 5. My number 4 is going to be JBL when they face each other at Judgment Day 2004 for the WWE title.
It was a battle.
That was a battle. The only problem I hated was how it ended in a no disqualification match. It ended in a no DQ. But man, that was a match. That was great. The build-up was great. That share shot that Eddie Guerrero took that busted him open, gushing them blood. Yeah. Oh my God, that was a lot. That was way more than Stone Cold Steve Austin did at WrestleMania 13.
Oh man, I remember
that. And it was so bad that didn't we even talk about it?
Nah,
they should.
Yeah, they should.
It's horrible. That's one of the good reasons why you should always protect yourself when you're taking, when wrestlers take a what's it called? Share shot in the head. Yeah. And but yeah, my number 3 is Eddie Guerrero versus Edge at SummerSlam. Obviously Eddie Guerrero because it's a tribute. Top favorite Eddie Guerrero matches. But yeah, the match that he had with Edge at SummerSlam 2002. I know that they had a lot of great battles, but the reason why that one means more to me is because I actually was able to see, not all of it, but I was able to see some of it live on pay-per-view. So I remember why I was able to watch that match. And I think that was the only match I was able to see at the time because I was visiting somebody. And I was just I remember I was excited for that match. And the fact that I was able to see it, and Edge won that match, which was awesome. I was a huge Edge fan. Also, same thing with Eddie Guerrero. What was the number? Was that number 3 or 4?
Top 3, yeah.
That was 3, right?
Yeah.
So my number 2 is when he faced Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 20. The build-up was great. The match, that was a classic match. It bothers me not a lot of people talk about it. It bothered me that at WrestleMania 20, I really thought that was going to be the closing main event. I also thought that, what was his name? I also The Undertaker and Kane. I also thought that was going to close the show at WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong about the Benoit and Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Great match. I understand why they closed the show, but I felt like, and I still feel till this day, that Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle should have closed WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was a great classic match. And the ending when he hit him with Kurt Angle took off his shoe. No, Eddie Guerrero took off his. He untied his shoe.
Doing an ankle lock.
Yeah,
he was getting an ankle locked on him by Kurt Angle.
Right, and he had his shoes untied, and he pushed him off, took the shoe off. Kurt Angle was like, "What's going on?" And then hit him with a roll up and walked away, retaining his WWE Championship. That normally would be my number one. But you can't. My number one has to be, the only reason why, because besides the fact that it was a great match, it was my first pay-per-view that I have ever seen live, which was No Way Out 2004, Brock Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship. I saw it with my best friend Junior, shout out to him. And he invited me. He's like, "Bro, we're gonna go see this match. We're gonna go see No Way Out. Eddie Guerrero, Brock Lesnar, we're gonna see it. A chance of, if he doesn't win the title, he doesn't win it. But the fact is, there's a chance that he may win the title." And we saw it, and it was just like, it blew my mind that they went 30 minutes.
Wow.
And the fact of Goldberg hitting him with the spear, and then Eddie Guerrero, I don't think he didn't. I think he tried to cover him, right? And then Brock Lesnar, kicked out, tried to hit him with the F5. He reversed it to a DDT, goes to the top rope, hit him with the frog splash, and then that slow count, 1, 2, 3. And then the bell ringing and him getting up, being excited that he won the title, celebrating with his fans, and his parents were there, and I believe his wife was there, and it was great. And now I remember crying. I don't remember. I remember I cried when Jeff Hardy won the WWE title, but Eddie Guerrero was like the first person who I cried. Like, I was just like, I can't. He did it. Like, he really did it. I was like, wow, that's great. And so it's my number one favorite match of Eddie Guerrero. You want to go ahead with your type list?
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna go a little more like other companies, but number 5 is be Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko, August 3rd, 1995. In New York City for the ECW television title. I think it was a great match. Eddie was wearing a tiger green stripe pants. It was a technical grudge match between Eddie and Dean Malenko. Always had good matches. Doesn't matter if it was in ECW, Independence, WCW, WWE. They always had a good chemistry.
Was this their last match on ECW? Or was this just like they were still there? Because I know they had one more match before they left ECW.
I think that's when they jumped to WCW. Because that's when people started leaving the ECW for WCW. But yeah,
because of the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, because WCW claimed they created the cruiserweight division, but I think ECW had it first.
In a way,
yeah. But I love that match. It was this technical grudge match going back and forth. It was awesome. My number 4 was actually Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 21.
Ooh,
it was his last WrestleMania.
Yeah,
like we didn't know that at the time. Obviously, nobody expects that he would pass away. Later the next year. But No, later that year. I mean, he died that year. Yeah, because he was
Yeah.
later that year. But it was just a good match. I mean, they always had chemistry. They had good matches all over the world in Japan, Mexico, WCW, ECW. It was just showing like them two going at it. It was a beautiful sight, you know. I just love that match. I mean, I could
Yeah.
watch that over and
I
over
mean,
again.
what's crazy to me is like that match wasn't that long. It was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they gave like a 5-star match in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, that in my book, I don't know what everybody else thought, but that was a great opening match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like you said, like 10 minutes. If it was longer, it would have been.
Imagine if it was.
Yeah, but I don't know. Obviously, it was an opening match, but those guys should have been like later in the card.
Yeah, but maybe that's why they opened the match, because it's like they don't need that much.
Yeah,
you know. So, and plus, if they would have went longer, they would have stole the whole entire show.
Yeah, so they would have ruined. I think it was like John Cena's moment or Batista's moment.
21. Yeah, it was their moment, and also the match of the night was Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
So,
and then that man. So I recommend that match if you guys haven't seen it. Match number 3 was the same one you had with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 20. For me, it was more like a validation of his championship. Like, you could win it at the pay-per-view before, but if you go into as champion at WrestleMania and come out as champion, it just validates his title reign. You know? I know it lasted probably like under a year. He lost it to JBL eventually after that, right?
Yeah, I think he was champion all the way to July or June. So maybe late June.
Yeah, late June. Great American Bash.
Yeah, that's where he dropped the belt.
Okay. So yeah, just him winning it, especially against Kurt Angle. I mean, come on, Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero. Those guys are technical like wizards, you know.
Yeah.
So him and like you said, like where he slipped out of his shoe and he rolled him up. You know, it's just showing that the Eddie Guerrero we love.
It was a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah,
like the ending was a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, and we know how. I mean, obviously WWE doesn't acknowledge it, but like at the end of the show when he embraced, Mr. Benoit.
Yeah.
I think that's probably, if it wasn't, what happened, it probably would have been like kept in there. But
it would, even after, I think like towards 2007, they were still talking about how that was the greatest WrestleMania. Well, not it was the Benoit, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. It was still the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. And that moment of Eddie Guerrero and Benoit sharing that ring together, it was still talked about until the Benoit incident.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You're like, these two guys. But then Eddie Guerrero's obviously was more, it was more validation than anything. But yeah, that was my number 3. My number 2, I talked about this in my Halloween. We talked about in the Halloween Havoc one. It'll be the Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio title versus mask match. And like I said before, that's one of my favorite matches of all time. I don't care if it was, I think, just matches in general in the world, but him and Rey Mysterio had a good chemistry, like before in WrestleMania 21. I think Eddie Guerrero was supposed to win that night, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to take off the mask of Rey Mysterio. And eventually went to Kevin Nash, which horrible booking. I was just trying to stroke his ego, right?
Yeah, basically.
But that match is amazing. If you haven't watched it, you're missing out. Watch it on the network. Watch it on YouTube, wherever you could find it. Recommend that one. And my number 1 was the same as yours with Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. You can't beat that one. I mean, like, he wrestled for so many years, and him winning it in that environment, in that night, with his family being there, it's just magical. You could watch that today and be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was in California, so he had the Latino side, the Latino community on his side. It was like, yeah. And then he embraced his parents and his family, and he just had that, he was doing that wave in the crowd. He was holding the title up. Oh, gosh.
He was one of those guys where it's like, this is what happens when, like, your hard work truly pays off. Guys these days, and they show up to WWE and they expect a WWE title shot, like, on their first day. Eddie Guerrero came to the WWF I think he was with the company for 2 years, and he got released because of his drug issues.
Mm-hmm.
Came back, got clean, came back. He was still doing drugs, but he wasn't making it notice, and he busted his ass off. He started in the tech. I think no, he had a single run for a while, a mid card guy, and then he went on to tag team with Chavo and Tajiri, right?
Yeah.
And then he went back to a single run as a mid card again, and he worked his way to the top.
Mm.
And he faced Brock Lesnar. He faced a guy who was way younger than him and who's only been in the business for 2 years at that point, and he was still able to have a great, fantastic match.
Mm.
And and his hard work paid off.
Yeah.
In 3 years, like I said, Edge is another guy who worked his ass off, and I think it took him 5 years to become WWE champion. And that's the problem with the wrestlers today, where it's like they show up to WWE, have one great match, and they think they deserve to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because of one great match. And it's just like, okay, calm down, man. Like, there's guys who work their ass off. Yes, there's some guys who, I don't want to say deserve it, but I understand, like, why they got a title shot so fast. But if they draw money, they draw money. If they draw money, guess what? You're gonna be on top. So, but yeah, that match with Eddie Guerrero and Brock Lesnar, great. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. You did caught me off guard. I thought that was gonna be number 2. I thought the number 1 was gonna be Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc, but it's on there. So.
Yeah. It was hard for me to choose 1 or 2, but like him just winning the WWE Championship, the main title of the company, you can't top that match. Like,
Right.
You can't beat it.
And the match is great.
Yeah, you could watch it today and it still holds up really nicely.
Right. Nothing compared to what's going on. Not saying that's bad, but yeah, it's like when you see that match and that's going to be like, damn, wrestling today sucks. But yeah, so I guess the next thing is we talked about this off air, maybe to have a list of top 5 dream matches from, if you were able to, who would are 5 guys that you would love to see Eddie Guerrero face if he was still alive.
Okay.
Rather, if he was still alive, let me fix this. Who would you like to see Eddie Guerrero face when he was in his prime?
Oh, okay. So,
in what era would you pick Eddie Guerrero? You know what I mean? Like if it was a video game, if you were ever to bring him back or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Like for me, obviously, I'm gonna start with my number 1. My number 1 is AJ Styles. I would love to see Eddie Guerrero face AJ Styles, but 2004. Eddie Guerrero in that era to face AJ Styles. And I think AJ Styles, he was wrestling. He was in TNA.
Yeah, he was.
But Eddie Guerrero is one of the greatest wrestler. Yeah. And then AJ Styles, he's the phenomenal one for a reason. That match would have been so great if it would have happened. My number 2 would be Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kind of, I feel like they have a similar chemistry in the ring. But not so much of saying like it's just something I would like to see.
Yeah.
And the other one, there's 2 people that kind of remind me of Dean Malenko. Mm-hmm. And one of them is Eddie Edwards, because Eddie Edwards, there's wrestlers that say that Eddie Edwards wrestles kind of like Dean Malenko. So, and then you said Dean, one of your top favorite matches was Dean Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
So it's just like with Eddie Edwards, that's like they will have great chemistry together in the ring then. The other one, just because of New Japan is Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they'll have a good chemistry in the ring, and also a dream match of mine. But my number 5, it's also my number 1. It's like this my list is not in order, by the way.
Okay.
So, but my number 1 is kind of like a tie between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Oh, I just botched it. But yeah, number 1, it'll be Daniel Bryan because of the technical side of wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically my list of like dream matches I would love to see. What's your top?
My top 5 or my top not in order either. I would definitely choose AJ Styles. I agree with you on everything there. It'll be great, especially prime AJ Styles, like X Division, like the X
TNA.
Ultimate X match. Imagine Ig Newentrywrestlingpod.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy. Not the
Guerrero,
reverse battle royal. I'm talking about the Ultimate X match.
Yeah, the Ultimate X. I feel like Eddie Guerrero was, if he would have, he probably would have wanted to be on that match.
Go there and like hang and grab the title for sure. That one, AJ Styles now or prime for sure. My second choice would be Finn Balor. Actually,
that's a good choice,
dude. Finn Balor, like
no, the Prince,
Devitt.
Yes,
like Prince Devitt. Okay. Finn Balor. I mean, even now, he's
even NXT, right?
Yeah, NXT. Finn Balor. But yeah, that'd be a great match. Imagine that at like Takeover or WrestleMania. Woo, man. Third one, I'm gonna go international. I'm gonna say Okada.
Oh yeah.
New Japan. Eddie Guerrero was in New Japan as Black Mass and Eddie Guerrero. So Okada, that guy is a great matches. They're both technical, so they'll definitely bring a good show. My fourth choice, I'm gonna go Mexico / AEW Pentagon Jr.
Yeah,
it seems like that'll be a good match. They're both kind of. I think that Pentagon's kind of more of a brutal style, and then Eddie Guerrero will be more technical, so they'll just go like back and forth with locks and stuff.
That's how because they're completely different people, and that's Eddie Guerrero could wrestle in different style.
Yeah,
that's what's great about him. Yeah. It's like, do you want to go technical? I could do that. You want to go high spots? I could do that. Yeah. I don't think the one thing he can't do is power lift, but he'll be the one being tossed around. Yeah. But he still will make it work.
Yeah. And my fifth one, this is a hard one.
That's what she said.
Wow.
That's what she said too.
My fifth one, I'll definitely go more like, I'll go for like Bandito, like Ring of Honor.
Oh,
Bandito,
okay.
That'd be a good match. Lucha Libre style.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, dude, I'll be like, oh man, or Rush.
Oh, Rush.
Oh, those guys, just like Mexican Lucha Libre style.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, dude.
Damn. See, what happened to Ring of Honor?
It's still around. Hopefully.
I haven't heard much. I used to follow Ring of Honor until 2018 or something. 19.
Yeah, so recently, yeah. Well, everybody, all their talent was getting. We'll talk about that later. But all their talent was getting like robbed from other promotions.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be another story. But yeah, those guys. If he faced even like any of the luchadors like Angel Garza or any.
What was that? Santo Escobar
or Fantasma or anybody like just
Dominic.
him being in even Mystico pre-botch. Yeah, like in Mexico where he didn't botch as much. Not WWE where.
What was his name? Mystico. Oh yeah,
Mystico.
Singada was his WWE
Caistico, Mistaices. Yeah, all those guys.
AJ Styles.
But yeah, those are my top 5 guys. Obviously, you guys probably have your own top 5s. You can always just let us know.
Yeah, hopefully we have an Instagram page. That way we could, hear your top favorite matches. But we'll see. We'll get there, hopefully, if we have listeners. Are you guys out there? Hello. But anyways, I guess you have anything else you want to mention about Eddie Guerrero?
He's a legend, Hall of Famer. He inspires many others. He'll probably inspire many more to come.
Sasha Banks
is one of them. So he'll be living on in our memories and forever be an inspiration to millions of people and future wrestlers.
Yeah, I just wish he, like I said, there were still a lot of moments, a lot of matches that I would love to see. But I think the big one was that run that he was supposed to have with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, WrestleMania 22.
Oh man.
That would have been a classic match. But, now it's just a fantasy match.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I guess, that's it for this episode. Part 2 of Eddie Guerrero tribute match. Till next time, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Please continue supporting our podcast. It means a lot and it helps out a lot. If you haven't done it already, please follow us on Spotify. We're also on other platforms. I don't know what we're on, but we're on 6 different types of platform. And hopefully we have an Instagram page, and if we do, it doesn't hurt to check it out. If we do already by the time we post this, if not, then we'll let you know when we do have one. So thanks for listening. Until next time, I'm Ian, and he's Ever. Yeah.
Good night, guys. Rest in peace, Eddie.
Doo-doo-doo.